Yeah, 85% of African American women make 50K or less. Right? So if you get with the guy that's a plumber or working at a factory, he's doing 50K, y'all at 100K now. Now you can actually do things financially. Now you can put money aside for stocks and do whatever, crypto or whatever. You can have those discussions. But if you're struggling every single day because you're by yourself,
just
how are you ever going to build that?
You're by yourself.
Yes, bro. And like, if you look at the Asian community, they're doing well because they have family. Even if you look at other black categories of people, like Nigerians, they come here and they do amazingly well because they have very traditional views and they have a code that they live by, which I think is the most important thing. Like, if you look at Jewish people, right? Jewish people represent 0.02% of the world population. 0.02% of the world population, right? 25% of all Nobel Peace Prizes were given to Jewish people.
A quarter of all Nobel Prize winners are of Jewish descent, despite it being a minuscule 0.02% of global population.
7 out of the 10 richest people on the planet are Jewish.
Among these 12 billionaires, 7 of them are either Jewish or was greatly influenced by the Jewish culture. Which begs the billion-dollar question. What makes Jews particularly successful?
These people are dominating. Why? Because by Jewish religious law, at the age of 3, you have to start teaching your child mathematics and basic reading and writing.
As soon as the child becomes 3 years old, at least for a boy, we start teaching him the alphabet, what we call the alphabet.
For him to be considered a man, for him to transition to the next part of his life by the age of 11 or 13, somewhere in there, the man has to teach his son a trade, whether that be sales, whether that be carpentry, mechanics, whatever it may be, something that he can create an opportunity with his own hand.
The father is obligated to do 6 things for his son. And one of the things it says that the father must teach his son trade. Trade meaning job. Teach him, a certain trade where he's going to be able to make a living for his family. Is actually a religious obligation for us.
And this is something that we had in the 60s that we've kind of lost for university. But those men could create things.
Is that a dying dog?
Something. I heard that.
It might be. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
No, but it's powerful to teach a boy that he can make his own money. Not only is he going to get focused on that, but the better he gets at it and the more he does it, the more money he makes from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So from the age of 13, these kids already, they know mathematics and basic reading. Age of 13, they're already getting into a trade. What that means is now after World War II and they get into these communities, if you need your door fixed, go down to John. If you need your car fixed, go down to Steve. So their money stays in their community because their people have something of value to offer.
Even when Jews are a minority population in most countries, their community presence remains intact. New Jersey, for example, is home to a Jewish community. They settled here generations ago after escaping the Holocaust. During that time, a leader of a Jewish congregation, aka the rabbi, told the followers to each pick up a trade.
Again, trade means like profession. Once everybody learned, the core professions, what happened is that people would only hire them. And therefore money was coming into the community, but it was really never leaving the community. And within a certain amount of years, this community became really rich. This is the Satmar Hasidim, that's what they're known as.
And I think there's a lot of boys in our community that don't feel valuable because they don't have something that they can create. So they're depending on other people for opportunities. Mm-hmm. So if you teach them a trade early on, they can create their own opportunity. And I think that's extremely powerful that we just kind of brush over. Mm-hmm. So like by Jewish law, like I'm just bringing that up because they have specific codes that allow for success. Mm. You know what I mean? Like when I was back in Winona, we have a huge Hmong population.
Monk?
No, Hmong.
What's
like
that?
they're people I don't want to fit because I know they're gonna hear this, but I want to say Thailand or Laos or one of those Asian countries. I'm not sure, but for some reason there just happens to be a lot of them in Minnesota. I don't know why they decided to stay there. It's cold as shit, but when I would go to school with them, if you're sleeping with a man, you're married. That's it. It ain't no talking all that back and forth. Their family will come and find you if you're not trying to marry their daughter after you slept with her. Mm-hmm. So like for the guys that were like black and white and they trying to do this whole party, promiscuous life, you better stay away from Asian women or you're gonna have somebody at your door, right? So those traditional values that keep men and women together, I think are extremely important, and having a code, like having something to like live towards. Like, and I think that's one of the biggest important, like most important components of religion is that even if you're a person with low IQ, it gives you a set of rules that allows you to live a life. You know what I mean? Like, don't overindulge in food, don't overindulge in alcohol. Teach you certain basic rules that are easily understandable that can at least give you a decent opportunity at having a decent life, right? A livable, like something that you could be kind of proud of. Treat your wife this way, treat your kids this way, discipline them this way, or whatever it may be. It had that. But now with religion dying, you have a lot of people that are just creating these things. Like, they're just believing in the same ideas, but it's just with no merit. It's nothing to hold them down. And I think that's one of the reasons like spirituality is getting so big, is because it doesn't have the accountability. Yeah. You can just go, I have a relationship. That's
actually very interesting.
I just have a blah 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 with Christ, and now that churches online, the same people that didn't want to go in because they get criticized for their behavior in church, they just stay and watch it online, because what those communities did was held you accountable for the things you did. And when you're a person and you want to be better, like every person should be, or what are you doing here if you're not trying to be better at life? Going into those environments and hearing exactly person to person why what you're doing might sabotage your life is truly important. And now people can ignore that because it makes them uncomfortable.
I thought about it like that.